Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Darksiders 2. So, we made it to the end of the bridge, now we're going up the bridge. We've got a different kind of gun than what we were using before. And now you shoot these projectiles and then they explode with the left trigger. So you're shooting them with the right trigger and then pulling the left trigger to activate the explosion. You can have multiples. Until I guess at a certain point you just run out of them and they start exploding. So it would be possible, I suppose, to just pull the right trigger in case people couldn't figure out the way it was supposed to happen. It's another one of these guys. This guy is really far away, so it doesn't seem like I'm hurting the character. Doesn't seem like... It doesn't seem like I can hit... Doesn't seem like I can quite hit him. So they put up a barrier.
I cannot.
Let's just look over here. So I'm way over here. And I can just cheese it and kill him. I can aim really, really far. Let's see, do we have anybody else that are ready to needs to be shot? I don't think so. Not really worth it to come all the way back there just to collect that one gold. I guess when I'm in this first person shooting mode I can move myself forward a little bit faster, which is nice. Releasing one more of those for that side quest. I'm not sure I'm actually going to be able to talk to Uriel. Like, when I get that side quest done, if I get that side quest done. Yeah, it's not really worth my time to have done that. This is really too much. What should have been at most a 20-minute experience of a like the Panzer Dragoon sequence in the first game has been turned into, it feels like a 2-hour experience of walking on Earth, turning this into a first-person shooter game. That's not the game you've been selling us up until this point. This has been a RPG loot-based game. Let's see. I can't really hit those over there. Even if I could hit them, it probably doesn't matter. Now I was thinking I was going to end up flying around. Just some kind of flying monster. That would make the most sense. It's kind of a spider-like thing. And here's the final part of the rod that we were coming to collect. What's the difference between a rod and a staff? I think that's a staff, not a rod, because of the decorative nature on top of it. A rod would have to be just basically a stick or a column. Now fully restored to its true power, the rod of Arafel will grant the holder with immeasurable power. So do I have some way of equipping it? Nope.
I cannot.
Instead, I'm going to go give it to a slightly suspicious angel because, frankly, as a Nephilim who is at war with the angels, Death should be suspicious of all the angels and everybody else. Like, you could easily write a story here where Death was very suspicious of everybody and just acting more paranoid than you normally would. This is interesting that somebody's bothered to animate basically a hotel. This really feels like maybe THQ made some other game and used content from that game. In this instance. That's not a bad thing, certainly. Capcom is known for doing things like that. Almost every big AAA game developer at one time or another had somebody animate some walls and then use those walls in half a dozen games. It probably took up some disk space, and when this game came out, that would have still been an era where disk space was at a premium. So having a slightly different looking room is a trade-off from being... What in the world is that? Let's put this down. Alright. How are we gonna get to that? We'll just do a little jump. The Fist of Elhazar, one of the handful of exceptional warriors from the King of Men, Elhazar fought his way through many levels of the Crucible bearing this weapon. The left gauntlet is known as Elhazar's Glare for its carven with an eye mark to mark his first victory in the arena over a raging Cyclops. The right gauntlet is Elhazar's might, for it bears the shimmering with raw power. Together, the Fist of Elhazar grants the wielder many benefits. Enemies are staggered by the hammer blows and their bodies devastated by increasingly severe hits to critical areas. And there's another stone. I have like 9 more stones of power to collect. And only like 3 more of the basic stones. So we're getting towards the end. Let's see. Menu. Which of the mini menus? This is not like... it's the same attack motion. So, like, you can say it's something special, but I think I'm better with this being equipped still. Until I can upgrade this a little bit more. And this will be nothing. And we've got everything. A little bit of everything's been collected. I guess we'll take it to mean that there's nothing else in this room. Where were you? Where did you come from? We're looking for one more one more angel being held by that. Here it is. So return to Uriel. Our side quest for this dungeon area is done. And take note that I don't believe any of the other dungeons had any side quests. This is a... Earth being a dungeon is not the greatest because it's a little bit too open. But this worked. This was the right size for a 3-part big dungeon where so many of the other dungeons have been like way too small and way too linear. Now, these 3 parts were still extremely linear. But we went everywhere. As far as the map seems to indicate, we've collected everything. There is a possibility we missed a stone. There is a possibility we missed a book of the Page of the Dead. We didn't find as many maybe as we should have. Wow, that doesn't even sound like the voice actor.
Turn the tide of this war, but I fear the destroyer would capture it again. Turn it to his dark purpose. No, better that you remove it from this world and into the safekeeping of the White Army. We will make our stand here until the Hellguard is no more.
And you can see in the background there's an enemy.
My brother's fate takes me on another path.
That's not supposed to be there.
Self-honorable, a virtue little known with your kind. But if I ever see him, war must answer for his crimes.
He could not have brought this upon the earth. And I will see my brother spared.
Do what you will, Ryder. But this world is lost, and that cannot be undone.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of time travel element in this series at some point. So we did the side quest. Let's turn that in.
I know, Horseman. If there are more angels who are suffering, they are beyond us both. Take this. Heaven rewards those who serve justice.
And then we just ask, what do you do now?
And what of the Hellguard?
They don't even tell you what you get until you get out of the menu.
Eventually.
That's what I'm counting on. The demons will suffer all the more when we force the blade home.
So we get Sunder. The elegant weapon recalls the grace and power of the original owner, and Angel Guard, Guardian of the White Center. This weapon, wielded by the venerated Guardians, are both aggressive and defensive, when Sunder's blades are more than capable of striking any foe with unearthly precision and force. The versatile weapon may also create a protective orb around its wielder and mitigates damage dealt by the enemy. Alright. So let's take this weapon we just got, Sunder, and see how this works. Like, we don't have a shielding, so like, is when I hit Y and back, yeah, another weapon I'll never use, unless maybe I could, maybe it's a possessed weapon. Nope. Well, that was Earth. It's disappointing, really. I would much prefer half the game or the entire third act to been on Earth. They talk about the 3 kingdoms of heaven, earth, and hell. We end up playing the first act in the Forge Lands, and then the second act in the Land of the Dead. I kind of would have preferred if the whole game played in the Land of the Dead too. It's probably the best dungeon we've done so far, but I didn't want Earth as a dungeon. I wanted Earth as a considerably important area that we would play.
Be careful what you wish for, Archon. You just might get it. The Rod of Arathar. I have been waiting so long. It feels every bit as powerful as I imagined. Then you should have no problem clearing a path into your city. A path? No. I will clear the entire realm. I will burn away the shadows with holy light.
That's cool. And he didn't immediately betray you. But also, we didn't fix the Tree of Life on Earth. So, this might be the Panzer Dragoon section. Which would... It kind of sucked to do this after spending nearly 2 hours shooting guns. We'll see what happens.
Seek out the scribe, most ancient. He still wanders the ruins. He can help you end your quest.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fishy. But at least he didn't immediately attack you. We've leveled up. Skill point awarded. And we're not controlling anything, so we may just fly through this empty lost light area. Like, my right trigger, left trigger is not doing anything. And then the lighting changed because of the definitive edition being bad. It desperately needs patching. Like, shouldn't have come out of the door with so many visual glitches and game-breaking glitches. Steam needs some people looking at all games, not just the terrible asset flips and fake games out there, but just like new versions and patches of the AAA games to say, look, this is not a level of quality anywhere close to what Sony or Microsoft would allow, or Nintendo even. And Nintendo's pretty loose. Well, what can I say? I was directly saying it would be annoying to do a Panzer Dragoon section after doing all of that shooting, so we didn't, and instead we got what was just a loading screen, effectively. Cutscene. One of the things I thought Death might have done is he might have ripped... It would have been cool if Death had ripped the wings off the Griffin and just attached it to his own back, and then you had double jump, because I believe you're eventually going to get double jump. And I believe now we're in a puzzle. Ooh, I cannot touch corruption. Like, I think we're in a puzzle now that's going to be all about lighting the way. Let's see. Yeah. Here's a thought. So you can walk into the corruption as a soul form and not get hurt. I guess I fast-tracked that. I was probably supposed to do more of a wall slide. And so So they had some kind of device that will purify and kill corruption. I guess. But it didn't seem like it worked too well, because in the end all of these angels are still pretty dead. That's a nice little intro puzzle to just explain, look, this is what you're gonna do, so be in that mindset. What is this? I'm looking at Ghost or something. They seem to be incredibly weak characters. I guess we're gonna have to come back up and around at some point. How are we on health? I probably could use a health vial. And I guess I'm just gonna avoid those ghosts for a while. But nice little candles. I would have preferred this not be full of dead bodies. Like, I think it would be fun for Death to, at least at the beginning, walk through a place like heaven full of angels just saying hello, maybe even bowing to him, and then after getting used to that, maybe corruption finds a way in and kills everybody, and then you see the bodies. That would let you at least build up some desire and liking of these angels that you really don't care anything about. It's really cartoony that these really cartoony angel souls. And I cannot hit those. They're up there. I see 2 crystals to shoot, but I can't aim that high. I have no idea why they decided to do that. I'm just gonna like, these ghosts aren't dropping anything, so that they're just like all the cannon fodder we just spent the past couple hours fighting. You coming to fight me, or you running away in fear? And there's that ability. Pretty obvious everywhere. So we need that ability. And we can see a couple of corrupted angels. I guess it's not worth fighting them as they are. They can't cross the gap, and I can't cross the gap. Jeez. This guy just does not... Seems like there's a way maybe to get up there and swing over. I guess we're going through here. They're starting to drop some things. Yeah, there's nothing over here. It'll be interesting if we get a dungeon map in this section, because I imagine this is just a second dungeon, and there was definitely 4 or 5 dungeons in the Land of the Dead, and definitely I'd say maybe 8 dungeons in the Forgelands. This is strange. Can I do this? Yes, I can. 3 more of those stones. We had to be reminded that we could do the wall slide. It's been so long. And I'm getting reminded of the terrible camera. It's in these narrow hallways, it's trying to zoom in and zoom out. Meanwhile, I'm trying to do some smooth circles. So the game takes the camera away from me, does a cutscene, tells me you need to go these ways, and I can see we're gonna make portals, and just like the game Portal, and we're going to use those portals to shoot explosive elements out of the like that is going to have to come out of that. It's strange to have enemies randomly spawn when we had already seen enemies wandering around and patrolling the area. That seems just completely inconsistent. Do enemies randomly spawn, or do they wander around? Where's the guy? Like, I don't even know where he is. Did he fly away, or did I get him? I guess I could jump down and come on, B. I have to wait till he gets up so I can do an execution move on him. It's always weird you lose your true Reaper form when you fall. Am I missing something? Seems like yeah. I probably am missing something. Something down here. Dungeon map. So this is a big place. 2 really big dungeons. Kind of appreciated. I kind of get it. It's better than 4 or 5 small ones. But I don't feel like the 4 or 5 small ones we saw earlier in the game needed to be that small in the first place. And so we just transition that way. 3 hits. Why does it take 3 hits to kill that? And nothing here. And we've got more boatman tokens. Did somebody just drop a totem? I think he did. So it's supposed to be a tree, probably not the tree of life. And interesting, you go instantly into a grab motion instead of running upward, where you would go into a running upward motion anywhere else. In fact, it's possible I could just slightly angle myself climbing up here, jump at a different angle and get up there, but I don't believe that's what they want me to do. Instead, I think they want me to do something like this. And then do this. No, not this time. So perhaps there's a, well, there's a hole. Is there a switch or something you want me to hit? Yeah, I can only go so far. Interesting. So I must have to go down this way. Doesn't seem like there's anything up here. So instead they want me to do this. Put one person here. This game doesn't really have much of a show don't tell attitude. Actually, it doesn't have much of an inform the player at all attitude. Like you just kind of have to figure it out. Alright, well, we solved another little bit of puzzle. Where are we on skill points? Sure, let's take this guy and go ahead and we'll just left bump. Actually, I think I already have all of my attacks equipped, so I'll just give this as left bump X and we'll try it once. And then item wise, we haven't been doing anything with the items for quite a while. There was really no reason to do anything with them when we were holding a gun, and just now we've at a point where some of that starts to make more sense. This weapon can't be upgraded. This weapon can't be upgraded. Hitting all the wrong buttons. This can't be upgraded. This can't be upgraded. And this can't be upgraded. But this can. So piercing and wrath per kill. And I may find that none of these other items actually do anything. Yep. So that's like the only of this entire collection of items that even start to add anything. So this possessed glaive has a strange combination. Would like it to have more resistance. So the rest of the stuff could just be sold. Still haven't gotten a new ability. Still haven't gotten a new piece of gear. And like the overworld map is the Lost Light. So there's going to be like a small demon map like this too. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just one area. We're at level 21 of a theoretical level 60. And we've hit that point. We have now officially played this game for over a day. 24 hours and 12 minutes. And honestly, I probably played a lot of games for 30 hours. That's not crazy at all. It's not crazy to play a lot of good AAA games for 60 hours. You can even play things like Borderlands for 120, even maybe 240, even maybe 360 and higher. But for this game to be this long is ridiculous. So much editing could have taken place. So much of this content could have been a concept that was added to Darksiders 3 and polished a lot more. We can see there's a lot of numbers here, like over 1 million now. Nope, over 100,000 gallons of blood spilled. Just tons and tons of big giant numbers. We've apparently traveled almost 200 miles on foot and almost 21 miles on horseback. We've done 14 primary quests and 15 secondary quests. You could have taken out all 15 of the secondary quests, really. Wow. And I'm gonna have to really go check and see at what percentage we have made it now as far as achievements. I'm imagining we are now somewhere in the 15% or lower as far as people who own this game on Steam who have not gotten some kind of storyline achievement to indicate that they've made it this far. The numbers have always been really low. That's partially because it's the definitive edition, partially because it's buggy, partially because there's game-breaking bugs, but also partially just because it's this game. Anyways, I don't want to rant on too much. We still want to finish this thing to some extent, see the main story. We'll check out, at the very least, if not play the extra additional content. But there's no way to even speed this up. A lot of games would have allowed me to run twice as fast and just skip some things that looked boring. Not this one. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. When you subscribe, please click the notification bell. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description. And if you want to support me even further, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.